I never planned to betray my husband. I never planned to ruin my best friend's life. But when Tom, my neighbor, her husband, looked at me that night with those eyes, everything I thought I knew about loyalty crumbled. This is the story of how one decision lit a fire I couldn't put out, and how the affair next door burned down everything in its path. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, do well to subscribe and hit on notifications. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for always watching my videos. It was a kiss that never should have happened, a touch in the dark, a betrayal lit by candlelight and silence. The power went out around 8:30 that night. I remember because I had just put the kids to bed and was finally about to pour myself a glass of wine. Instead, I was lighting candles, fumbling for my phone, and texting neighbors in our cul-de-sac to see if it was a block-wide outage. Tom replied first. Yeah, ours is out too. Lena's still at the store. Want me to come check your fuse box? I should have said no. I should have said Greg would handle it when he got home. But Greg wasn't home. Greg was never home. So I said yes. Tom arrived with a flashlight and that casual, easy grin he always wore. The kind of grin that made you feel like the only person in the world. He smelled like cologne and sawdust. He was always building something in his garage. Fuse box looks fine, he said, brushing cobwebs off his jacket. Looks like the whole grid's out. Want some company until the lights come back. I hesitated. Then I nodded. We sat in the living room with candles flickering between us. It was too quiet, too intimate. He told me a joke. I don't remember what it was, but I laughed harder than I should have. I hadn't laughed like that in weeks, maybe months. Then it happened. I turned to grab the bottle of wine, and his hand brushed mine. A spark. Real or imagined, I don't know. But I felt it. Our eyes locked. You okay? He asked. No, I whispered before I could stop myself, and then he kissed me. It was slow, careful, like he was waiting for me to pull away. But I didn't. I kissed him back. For a second the world was quiet. My guilt hadn't caught up yet. The candles flickered. Somewhere outside a car alarm went off. When I pulled away I was shaking. I'm sorry, I said, breathless. Me too, he murmured, but he didn't move. We sat in silence for a long time. The lights came back on, but we didn't notice. Eventually he left. I locked the door behind him and stood there in the hallway, the walls spinning around me. I had kissed my best friend's husband. I had kissed the man next door. But the worst part wasn't that it happened. It was that I wanted it to happen again. I didn't sleep that night. I laid in bed wide awake, staring at the ceiling fan spinning shadows on the wall. Greg came home around midnight, smelling like cheap office coffee and exhaustion. He leaned over to kiss my forehead, like he always did, and whispered, Sorry I'm late, Em. Big meeting tomorrow. I nodded. It's okay. But it wasn't. He climbed into bed and was out within minutes, snoring softly beside me. Meanwhile, I kept seeing Tom's eyes, hearing his voice, feeling the warmth of his lips. The weight of what we did hung in the air like humidity, thick, suffocating, and inescapable. By morning the guilt was burning a hole through my chest. I made coffee, burnt the toast, and forced myself to look normal. The kids fought over cereal. Greg left in a hurry, already on a conference call as he backed out of the driveway. And then Lena showed up. She came through the back door like she always did, carrying a tray of fresh cinnamon rolls and her usual sunshine. You okay? She asked. You look pale. I didn't sleep much, I said, trying not to choke on my guilt. She laughed. Welcome to the club. We sat at the kitchen table sipping coffee. I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt my stomach twist. She was my best friend, my neighbor, the one who brought soup when I had the flu, the one who helped me decorate the nursery, the one who loaned me her favorite dress for our anniversary dinner. And I kissed her husband. I was at Target Forever last night, she said, unbothered. Didn't even realize the power was out until I got home. Tom said it was back by the time he got here. I nodded, trying to keep my hands from shaking. Yeah, it didn't last long. She smiled and reached for a cinnamon roll. Honestly, I think we need more outages. No phones, no distractions. Just peace and quiet. I nodded again. But there was no peace inside me. Tom hadn't messaged me. Not even a good morning. Not a we need to talk. Nothing. Did he regret it? Was he pretending it didn't happen? Or worse, was he used to cheating? I tried not to spiral. But every scenario made me feel smaller. Dirtier. That afternoon, as I was folding laundry, I saw him through the window. Watering the grass, shirt off, sunglasses on like nothing had happened. Like we hadn't just cracked the foundation of both our lives. He didn't look up at me. I didn't wave. But that night when I stepped out to take the trash, I found a sticky note folded and wedged inside the mailbox. I haven't stopped thinking about last night. I'm not sorry. Are you? T. My hands trembled. My heart answered before my head could stop it. No. I wasn't sorry. If guilt had a sound, it would be the ding of a phone notification when your husband's standing right behind you. It was Saturday morning. Greg was home for once, wearing joggers and a faded college hoodie, trying to make pancakes for the kids. I was rinsing dishes when my phone buzzed on the counter. From Tom. You looked beautiful today. Even in sweats. I felt the heat rush to my face. My heart kicked hard in my chest. And then I heard it, the silence. The sound of Greg not flipping pancakes. Not moving. Just standing there. What's that? He asked, nodding toward my phone. Probably a spam text. I said quickly, drying my hands, hoping my voice didn't shake. He gave a half smile. Mind if I see? I froze. I didn't want to lie again. But I wasn't ready for the truth to tear everything apart. Not like this. Not in front of the kids, not over pancakes. I already deleted it, I said. He raised a brow. That fast? Yeah. It's nothing, Greg. But he kept looking at me long and hard, like he was trying to solve a puzzle he didn't even know he was holding. Something cracked in his eyes. Doubt, maybe. Or suspicion. And that's when I knew. I was in the middle of a fire I couldn't put out. That afternoon I saw Tom in his garage. He was working on a wooden bench for Lena's birthday. Shirtless again. Smiling like a man without a conscience. I wanted to scream. Instead I walked over. I got your message, I said under my breath. He looked up from the bench. I figured. You can't text me like that. He saw it. My husband saw it. He leaned in. Did you delete it? Yes. But he's not stupid. Neither am I, Tom said, wiping sweat from his forehead. And I'm also not done with you, Emily. His voice was low. Dangerous. Like we were past the point of turning back. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. Because a part of me, God help me, liked that he wasn't done. Later that night, Greg asked me if I was happy. We were sitting on the couch. The kids were asleep. The TV was on, but we weren't watching it. He didn't look at me when he asked, Are you happy, Em? I stared at the screen. What kind of question is that? He shrugged. An honest one. I swallowed. I don't know. He nodded like he already knew the answer. I don't want to lose you, he said quietly. That broke me more than anything. 'Cause I was already half gone. And I was the one walking away. It happened on a Sunday. One of those perfect California days when the sky is too blue to feel real. And the air smells like sunblock, grilled corn, and fresh-cut grass. Lena had planned a neighborhood barbecue. Burgers, beers, kids running wild. She was in full host mode. Laughing, flipping patties. Setting out paper plates with little sunflowers on them. Tom was by her side, charming everyone. Greg was nursing a beer. Pretending things between us were fine. But they weren't. We were all boiling beneath the surface. And I had no idea the whole thing was about to explode. I was refilling the lemonade pitcher when it happened. I heard Lena's voice first, sharp, cracked, and louder than it should have been. Whose bra is this, Tom? Silence. Everyone turned. She was holding a black lace bra in the air like a flag of war. I froze. My heart stopped. It was mine. I had left it in Tom's garage the night I let him kiss me again. The night we crossed every line. Tom stood frozen beside the grill, spatula still in his hand. Greg looked at me. And I knew. Everyone knew. The next 10 minutes were chaos. Lena was screaming. Tom tried to pull her inside, but she shoved him back and threw the bra in his face. "You're sleeping with her, aren't you?" she yelled, pointing right at me. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. I couldn't lie. Not anymore. Greg stood up. "Is it true, Emily?" Tears welled in my eyes. I nodded. One small, shameful nod. Greg's face crumbled. I had never seen him cry. Not at our wedding, not when his father died. But he cried right then, in front of everyone. The neighbors stood frozen with half-eaten hot dogs and paper plates hanging in the air. Lena sobbed. "You were my friend, Emily." "I know," I whispered. "I'm sorry." But sorry didn't matter. Not anymore. Tom tried to follow me when I ran home. "Don't," I snapped, slamming the door behind me. "You've done enough." I looked at the mess of my life. Photo frames on the wall, kids' drawings on the fridge, the home Greg and I built. And I destroyed it. I sat on the floor and cried until my throat ached. Hours passed. No one called. No one knocked. And I knew everything had changed. It's been 6 weeks. Greg moved out. Lena filed for divorce. Tom tried reaching out, but I blocked his number. I'm seeing a therapist now. I'm trying to rebuild slowly, painfully, honestly. I don't know what comes next. Maybe I'll never be forgiven. Maybe I don't deserve to be. But I've learned something. Some affairs start in the shadows. Others begin in plain sight. Next door over coffee with a smile that lingers too long. And once the line is crossed, nothing is ever the same again. Have you ever imagined yourself in this kind of situation? What did you do about it? Subscribe to this channel and hit on notifications for more interesting stories like this.